you also have to remember that there are no websites or magazines that women consume with plus size men. There's no like, do you understand where I'm going from? They're not necessarily looking for that, right? So you're not got women sitting there saying, I must find myself an overweight, kind, compassionate man that takes care of me and his duties, right? They're not going to say that to be unkind, right? There's a difference between being cuddly, but then there's a difference between being completely out of proportion and having poor health markers, right? So if you look at evolutional psychology and the attraction cues, these are all generally markers of health. You know, if you look at the works of David M. Buss, he's done a book called The Evolution of Desire. And there's another book called Why Women Have Sex by Cindy Merton and David M. Buss. They trace back through evolution to the beginning of time to present day and then done these revisions through the book. The final part of that is, have you turned into one of the children? So your mother's love isn't what she's looking to have with you. Now, there's quite a lot of stuff I've gone through there, which can be kind of guys listening and going, "Oh, I don't," it's hard to hear. But we all know men that, visually, we can stand to their attention and off we go to the races. But we have to consider our partners as well, of their needs. So if you're in a long-term relationship and every week she's not getting what she wants from, the time that you're spending together in the bedroom, they're going to get bored, aren't they? They're not going to be as interested because it's one way. And sometimes what happens, because of the lack of communication, a lady may think, I wish you knew how to do it in their head. I wish you knew how to do this. You should be able to, like they don't want to tell you because it kind of spoils it. But at the same time, if they don't tell you, they don't get what they want from it, and then becomes a bit of a vicious circle. And then once you throw children in the mix, raising children, the tiredness, the washing, ironing, and anything that they're doing on that level as well, day job, whatever it may be, a woman needs to get into her body, and so she needs to feel relaxed to get into that zone. And I think maybe what happens is, because that's not communicated enough, the safety elements, the physical, the mental, and the emotional safety as well, or that a guy might only show attention at times of when they want sex. The rest of the time, they pretty much ignore their partner or don't pay them any compliments, take care of them, take them out for dinner, any of that stuff. And the only time they show attention is then. That becomes a problem as well. So I've kind of unloaded quite a lot of stuff there. But I think that's why we've got 50% of marriages with their bedrooms out there, because there's a lot of guys who don't understand half of what I've just said, that can play a role. You've got to remember, men and women are different biologically. We're equal across the board, but we complement each other. But our sexual attractions are differently. The way that we're programmed in that sense are different. And I think it probably takes a lot, because I think it's really unfair on guys when they get shamed. Oh, all you want is sex. All I hear about is I want da-da-da-da. If you turn around and said to a lady, oh my God, you're such a narcissist. Why do you need this attention? That would be very cruel and disrespectful, because women need quality attention. They want to feel loved and cared for and stuff. So that shaming, it needs to stop, I think. I think that doesn't help anyone. And that's probably because generally guys' testosterone is 17 times that of a lady's. So their libido generally, not always, going to be higher than their partners.